A very, very good evening, everybody. It is so good to be back. We are here for Cone Racing League Tier 3 in Season 5. It is Race 11 here at none other than the famous Red Bull Ring in Austria. What promises to be a superb night of racing as the title fight really starts to heat up here in Tier 3. As Chris, I've had a little bit of a spin there already at Turn 3. I've got a special guest alongside me tonight, a very good friend of mine, and a recently, what's the word I'm looking for? A recruited driver, shall we say, in Tier 4. Good evening to the Alpine driver, none other than Mr. Funny Horse Chimp. Chimp? Is he here? Where's he gone? He's here! He's here! Better late than never, mate. I thought you'd gone then. Are you here? Can you hear us?
I'm in 100. Yep, I'm here. I was focusing on William gave it. Yeah.
I give you this big introduction, mate, and you weren't ready for it.
I didn't flip mine down. I wasn't ready.
He's bottled it already. Welcome, Chimp. Thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, me and you raced this race on Monday.
Yep.
Plenty of different strategies. It was a dry race for most of the night on Monday, of course. There was a little bit of rain on track for the first 8 or 9 laps. Still on the dry tyres, of course, but a little bit of rain to kick off with. I've been told by the Tier 3 drivers that we can expect a dry night all around tonight, Kes. So, we know for strategies, you know, you can do a one-stop. Soft medium is doable here. It's not the easiest, but it is doable. What would you suggest for strategy? Obviously, rolling into Q1, it's very, very early in the night, but would you be someone who'd look to start on the mediums or hammer the softs early on and push?
I like to say, obviously, we had the rain, but I think if it's sunny all the way through, I think you're probably better off hammering them softs. Me personally, I'd go for a 2-stop. Because obviously it's all about speed, Austria. Obviously, minute laps, basically.
Yeah, just over a minute, yeah.
I think you've got to just hammer that and get some quick laps in early on.
I agree. And I think it's what you want to say, it's a short pit lane as well, and it's not exactly a long pit lane, one of the shortest in F1. So we'll talk a bit about the track. I've got some facts for the Austrian Grand Prix as well, so we'll cover some facts about the track, we'll cover the current drivers' standings, etc., as Q1 and as qualifying progresses. But it's so good to be back. It's been a while since I commentated, due to a couple of different things, really. But it's good to be back, and especially with you, Kes. It's nice to have someone with me, especially someone I'm familiar with. So looking forward to it. And Monday's race, if you haven't watched Monday's race in Tier 4, go back and watch it. I'm not just saying that because I won it. It was actually a brilliant race. Freefall himself, our commentator for Tier 4, quoted and said that was the best race of the season in Tier 4 so far. So if you have missed Monday's race, not right now, maybe not as you're driving, but, you know, if you're looking for something to do, go back and watch it, because genuinely, Kez, and you'll agree with me, it was a superb race all around. Plenty of drama.
It was brilliant. It was good to be part of, actually.
Yeah, and, you know, I won it as well, so any other excuse, really, to go and watch it.
Spoiled the result, but...
No, it was a great race. If you are in the chat, make sure you say hello to us. Amelia Greenwood's in the chat, my missus. Hello, Amelia. Drop a like, drop a sub, as always. I think she's already subbed, to be fair. I think she's even got a notification bell on, to be fair. She's quite a good subscriber. She's quite a big subscriber. Nathan says, good luck on comms, boys. Let's go Haas. Oh, we've got a Haas fan. That's quite rare, isn't it? That's quite rare.
Up the Alpine.
Up the Alpine. Up the Aston Martin. But of course, as a commentator, I'm neutral. So, Kes, Q1, as we know, 20 drivers on grid tonight. So good to see a full grid, of course, especially on a track like this that's got so many opportunities for overtaking. 3 of the DRS detection zones in Austria. So, of course, it's exciting, you know, a track like this, and you want a full grid, and luckily we've got a full grid. Nathan said, I racing Haas, it's my constructor. Even so, mate, you should be supporting someone else, not Haas. Who supports Haas? Now, good luck in your race tonight as well, Nathan. Jack Bowie needs an invite. I will try and invite you back, but we can't have Jack Bowie not being here, because he's the championship leader. Can't have him missing the race, can we? No. Come on, Jack, what are you playing at?
I'm sure others won't want to be invited.
He's in. I think we're back. That Roland, Kes, has retired on track, and is that a Haas as well? Is that a Haas that's retired? No, it's a McLaren. There was a Haas off the track, apologies. It's a McLaren, and that looks to be... It is on track on the last corner, Kes. On board with Strauss, his teammate. He's just disappeared now, but it was at the last corner, and he's not set a lap, that Roland, Chimp, so he's out in Q1, regardless.
Well, it's a tough last corner, that. If you do catch too much of that left-hand side curb, you will go flying.
Evening to Greg in the chat. Nice to see you. Well, not see you. I can't see you, can I? But nice to hear from you, Greg. Hope you well, pal. Yeah, as Kez mentioned, that last corner, and I'm sure these boys all know it, is I think it's one of the toughest corners in the game. Not in terms of to handle the corner, but to avoid penalties. This is a track where penalties can be quite easily picked up. Now, Kez, there was only 3 drivers on Monday that didn't get a penalty. Me and you, one of them. No penalties for me or you on Monday night. So, well done to us. And what I would say about penalties is, and prime example is me and Chimp, because on Monday, me and Chimp jumped a lot of places just for not getting any penalties. I finished the race in 6th and came first because of penalties. I think, Kez, you were down in 12th? 11th?
12th, finished 8th.
There you go. So you jumped 4, I jumped 5, just for avoiding penalties. I mean, obviously on any track it's huge, but on a track like this, it is massive on a short circuit like this. And if you can avoid pens as Doomsday, that's 2 drivers I've seen already lose it at turn 3. Of course, turn 3 is another one. If you touch that curb on the inside, you're having a bit of a spin. Yeah, that last corner's a pain for penalties. And if go on.
You think as speed and just basically in real F1, in real life, faster cars do well there.
Yeah.
You know, faster cars on the straights, but that turn 3, the slowest corner on the track. I might have got that wrong. I don't know.
I think it probably is.
It's so important to get a good exit out of there because you can lose the back quite easily.
I mean, we all know Austria is a really fast-paced track, but there is a couple of really difficult corners. The corner now that Doomsday's at, Matt Wilson, and I don't think Mark will want me to mention this, but Matt was leading the race on Monday. He lost it there. Quick Killer was leading the race. He lost it there as well. You know, there's numerous corners on this track where it's...
Did Wild Dog spin there?
Wild Dog did as well. Yeah, you're right. You're spot on. Yeah, so 3 drivers there that were right at the front of the pack all lost it. I think my teammate also lost it there as well, Matt Rowney.
They're not bad drivers either, by the way.
No, exactly at the top end of tier 4, and that's 3 or 4 drivers that lost the car. It's not always about being a good driver or being a bad driver. You know, it's easy to lose a car, and this is a great circuit. It's one of the most enjoyable circuits on the grid. I think most people on the calendar. Sorry, most people love Austria. It's one of my favourites, if not my favourite altogether. So, but it can throw up a bit of a storm sometimes, and you know, with free DRS detection zones, I'm expecting plenty of overtakes tonight, plenty of action. And yeah, who knows what's going to happen. We'll go over the driver standings, the constructor standings, etc. Into Q2. We'll just let Q1 progress and pan out. I think there's about 9 minutes left according to my standings. And Strauss is currently sat at the top with 104.5. That Roland said, my tyre is still on the track. He's retired and his tyre's still there. Them stewards have done a very good job. How are they getting rid of that? We will go over, and actually, speaking of times, I'll go over the poll times for Monday as well. I think I've got them, so I'll go over them in a moment as well. But obviously, with it being a full qualifying, we'll let it progress a little bit. 8 minutes to go, give or take a little bit. Oh, Pheasant Plucker loses the car, and he's out of the session, Chimp. A really strange place to lose it. It's the Albon and Hamilton corner, where he's lost it. And he's out the session completely. And Pheasant, who normally, what I've seen from this season, very, very good in qualifying, always challenging for pole, is out, Chimp. He has set a 104.7, which would have put him currently P8, but he's a second driver, Kes, to DNF in Q1.
Weird corner to do that there, but I think if you're too hard on the throttle coming out of it, I think you can just lose that back end not quite easily, but there's a chance of it happening.
It's a really weird place to lose it there. Because I was watching him, he didn't look like he'd lost the car, it just sort of went by itself. All of a sudden, see you later. And in Q1, it's quite rare to see the DNFs in Q1, especially on a track like this in the dry. So there's proof already, Kez, that the corners can be very deadly on this track. Not just penalties, but for DNFs as well. You've seen 2 already. And we've seen already a couple of spins as well, people not DNFing that turn 3. So already 3 or 4 cars have lost it, and unfortunately for Dat Row and the Pheasant Plucker, they couldn't save the car. Turn 1, I lost it at turn 1 on Monday in qualifying as well. Just trying to take it flat. Well, not flat, but you know what I mean. Trying to get through turn 1 comfortably. I lost it as well. Luckily, I didn't get any damage, but there's numerous corners on this track because it's such a fast-paced circuit where, you know, bit too keen on the throttle and you can lose the car. And we've already seen proof there in Q1, and unfortunately, like I said, for Pheasant and for that role. I'm being told we need to watch JB Bowie, the championship leader. We need to get on board him, and he's on a lap now, Chimp. If you want to take us through the rest of it.
Yeah, I can do.
Be my guess, mate.
What Pheasant Plucker did. Doesn't go into a curve. No tyre left on the track.
I think we may just be losing you, Kez, with your connection, mate. Unless that's just me, but you do seem to have had a bit of a connection. What's happened there with them to just letting him pass? Okay, again. Try again. Try again. Are you okay? Try to speak. I think we can hear you again now. You keep breaking up a little bit, mate. Just now and then. Jack Bowie does set a first time of 13th. You'll be a little bit disappointed with that, Jack. And what I do know about this track is that times are very, very close on this circuit. There's not much in it. Jack currently 4/10 off Strauss's time in the McLaren. He's the man to beat in Q1 at the moment. But Jack Bowie's certainly not safe yet into Q2. He's a temp up already here as he approaches Sector 2. Statistic King's retired in the pits. He's currently sat third, though, so he's obviously comfortable with his time.
Big up the Alpine.
Big up the Alpine. There you go. Support from a fellow Alpine driver. Love that. So Jack will not be... obviously, it's only Q1. It's not the end of the world, but I'm sure Jack will want to be getting higher than P13. He's the driver's lead at the moment. It's his title to lose, as it stands. Jack Bowie, 5 races to go, including tonight. I raced with Jack last year in Tier 4, and he was superb, so I'm not surprised at all that he sat at the top of these standings. He's just set a purple Sector 2, Chimp. It's looking like it's going to be a massive improvement here from his first lap, and maybe... if you can nail this last couple of corners, a P1, let's have a look. P1 at the moment is Strauss with a 1:45. Can Jack Bowie take P1 in Q1? You bet he can by some margin, and that is why he's your driver's leader. A 1:04.4, which, to be fair, I expect them times to come down as quality progresses a little bit, but a solid time there from Jack, and he smashes that car into Q2. So all the Alpha Tauri fans in the chat, I'm sure you'll be pretty happy with that time. Anyone you got your eye on, Kez, at the moment?
No one. I was just focusing on a lap from JB Bowie, really. Absolutely smashes it, and he gets a Drivers' Championship leader, gets above last week's race winner, Strauss.
He does indeed. He does indeed. Good start, Kez. I like the statistics there from you, mate. Last week's race winner. Your knowledge. I'm loving it. Loving it. We'll go over last week's race as we get into Q2. We'll let Q1 finish because I've got a few things that we need to go over. A driver at risk at the moment is Leon, who's currently sat in 14th. Ferrari had a bit of a nightmare so far this season on the whole, not been their season at all. I know that Wild Dog's been doing his bit in Tier 4 for the boys, but they've had a bit of a tough season, Ferrari, so far, and they'll be hoping to end the season on a high and get some points. Both of their drivers at risk at the moment. I think Leon's actually pitting here, so be very quickly, and with 3 minutes to go, get in and out of the pits and go again. The other Ferrari driver, Doomsday, just about to go on his fast lap. He's currently sat 18th for 1:51. As it stands, he will not be making it into Q2, but he's got a big opportunity here to put that car into Q2. Let's see if he can get into that top 15. Of course, Pheasant and Darrow, and they're out regardless due to DNFs on track, so that gives the likes of Doomsday a bit more of an opportunity to certainly progress into Q2. But with only 3 minutes to go now, it is crunch time, Chimp, and yeah, let's see if he does it. He's just less than a tenth up on his time, which is okay, but he could do with improving a little bit more. It's not a bad first sector though, Chimp. I think it was just less than a tenth for that then, up on in Sector 1.
Yeah, I've just got my eyes on the other Alpha Tauri, Arjako. He's had two laps and he's been a bit unlucky in terms of...
yeah, he's not on one now, is he either?
No, I think he's pulled off, to be honest. He must have been down on his time. But,
possibly.
He is currently...
He's warming the tyres to go again, isn't he?
Saying bye-bye.
Yeah, he's going to go again now. We'll check his as the quality progresses. Let's have a look then on Doomsday. You're going to run the last couple of corners here. Crucial last couple of corners. Don't want to invalidate your car there. He steps off a little bit. Was a little bit shy of the final corner. Is it going to be enough for him to go through? To be fair, it's P11 and that could just be enough for Doomsday. We'll see as it progresses. But to be fair, you're in a pretty good position there. The other Ferrari Leon's still in the pits. Just coming out the pits now so he can have one go. At getting through. Christoph, he's also in the bottom 5 at the moment. Can't have Aston Martin going out in Q1, Christoph. Come on, son. Get through. He's going to run the last couple of corners here as well. He currently set a 1.5 dead. That's not going to be enough as it stands. Can he put his car into Q2 for Aston Martin? He stays 17th and he's at risk now, Chimp. He might be able to go again here, to be fair. But certainly one of the drivers at risk. Is he going to invalidate there? Somehow he's not invalidated. I don't know how. He's not invalidated there. He gets away with it. Anybody else? Who's going to be the first? There's a Ferrari there. Doomsday stepped off. He's going to be comfortable, I think. Then it's the Alpha Tauri of Jacko. He's invalidated yet again, Chimp. So Jacko's struggling a bit here. Then behind him, it's the Ferrari of Leon who's on an outlap. He also needs to improve if he's going to put himself into Q2. Behind him is my good friend Chrome Racing League Murphy. He's on a lap at the moment. He's a 10th up, or just short of a 10th up. A decent improvement here for Murphy should be more than enough to put him into Q2. He rounds last corner, crosses the line, and Murphy's going to set a 1:04.6 into the top 6. A solid lap there from the Williams driver to put his car into Q2. Next across line will be the Aston Martin of Christoph. He failed on the last attempt. Can he put that car safely into Q2? Christoph crosses the line, up to 12th. He's through. Who's next? Gautier's invalidated. He's at risk now at the moment as well, and I don't think he can set another lap. How long is left? It's not telling him. Is he going again? He is going again, so he's got time. Just Strauss, Kez goes even quicker. 1:04.1. JB goes 1:04.2. I didn't even realise, Kez, that two people had top Bowie's time there.
Yeah, just having my eyes on Leon here, the Ferrari.
Big lap.
Doomsday got through.
Come on, Leon. He's 2 tenths up here, Chimp. That'd be enough.
8 foot down.
Can the Ferrari bring it home and put both of the cars into Q2? It's a crucial corner here, Chimp. Let's have a look. Oh, it's invalidated! Oh, no! Oh. It's heartbreak for Leon and Ferrari. He's out in Q1, and I think he didn't need to do it. He was through. He was 2 tenths up. So a mistake from Leon. Dragon on speed. He's not improving it at the moment. He's 19th for it all, but he's got ridiculous pace, Dragon. And he has changed a few of his assists and settings this season. I think he may have transitioned to the wheel. I may be wrong with that, but he's definitely changed something this season. And to be fair, he's improved a little bit. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, as it stands. There's the improvement there. As Gautier goes 13th, looks like he's going to be through into Q2. It's Jay Hartnell cuts the lawn. He was actually 2 tenths up. He's going to say, has he jumped? No, he's not. What happened there? He was cutting the lawn. Dragon Speed stays 19th, Chimp. And that is your Q1 done. Dramatic Q1.
Finished. Over.
Finito. Done and dusted. It was a dramatic Q1. There's a couple of people there that have squirmed through by the skin of their teeth and will have to improve in Q2 if they want to get into that top 10 and push for pole. Got a feel for someone like Leon there. He looked pretty much dead on to go through, then he messed up on the last corner. We mentioned how difficult the last corner is earlier. Invalidated on the last corner, and it's cost him a place in Q2. But that is your Q1 here in Team 3 of Cone Racing League Season 5, Race 11 in Austria. We'll confirm everything for you in a moment when it comes up. But certainly a very interesting first qualifying session there. Strauss with the best time so far, as Kez mentioned, last week's race winner, 1:41. Going out, William Gaming, who I believe is a reserve tonight in the Alpine, he's out. Pheasant Plucker, of course, had that crash. Interestingly enough, Kez, I've just realised 7 cars have gone out because of the DNFs. Only 13 have gone into Q2.
Jesus.
Interesting. And that does make it a little bit easier for the boys to get into Q3, of course. Only 3 cars will go out next round. But obviously, if there's any DNFs, that'll change. But 7 of the 20 drivers out in Q1. Q1 has obliterated the grid. I forgot because of DNF, they were out. Was it Pheasant and that Roland? So 7 cars out in Q1. Of course, only 13 now will be in for Q2. 10 of the 13 will progress, barring 3. But good to see that both Aston Martins... Oh, no, not are they? Who went up? Wait, where's the Aston Martin gone? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Christoph was 17th.
Was it? Oh, yeah, he was. Oh, no. Christoph, mate. 17th to 1st.
Mazzles versus Sadistic King for the commentary teams.
The battle of the comms. Let's see who wins it. It looks like Craig straight out in the Williams. I want to go through very quickly your driver standings and cover last week's race results as well. I'm not as technically gifted as Scott. Scott gets all these graphics up on the screen, doesn't he? I can't do it, me. So if you're expecting some free fall graphics, I'm afraid I don't have the facilities for that. I'm not as good as him, but I can read them. Go the old-fashioned way and just read them out. Who needs all the fancy graphics? You don't need them. You don't need them. So first of all, we'll cover last week's race results. We were in Mexico City last week in Mexico for round 10. Strauss, who we mentioned, got the fastest time in Q1, didn't he, Strauss? He took the win there to put him properly into championship contention. He won that race. Leon Kez, who we mentioned in the Ferrari, having a tough season. He got P2 last week. He's never made it into Q2 here, so he's had a great result in P2. I don't know where he started last week, Leon. He may have started at the back and and got P2. I'm not sure. But he got P2, and he was on the podium by a familiar face, Mazzles. We both know Mazzles quite well. He races in a couple of other leagues that we know, and he also raced alongside me in Tier 4 last season. That was your top three. Bowie got 4th, which keeps him at the top of the standings. Cystic King, he got P5 as a reserve. And he got fastest lap, Chimp. Now, Chimp, interestingly enough, Cystic King's representing your team. He actually got 5th, Kez, as a reserve for Red Bull last week. Can he get some points for Alpine tonight? What do you reckon?
They better get better than 5th, I'll tell you that.
What, you want a race win?
Yeah, we were getting the Paul Brown out in the middle of the Austria, right? Getting told off. Can't race like that for Alpine. Right?
Yeah, you can't. To be fair, you can't smash it Red Bull and let Alpine down, can he, Chimp?
No,
can't be doing that.
Cannot.
So Chimp, Cystic King, if you're listening, mate, you got to get a P1 tonight. Anything less than Chimp won't be happy.
To be honest, Sadistic King, if you are listening, I'll probably just let this seat gone to me head a little bit. But still, come on the Alpine.
Come on the Alpine. Murphy got 6th, J. Arnold, Gautier, Craigo and McConey were your top 10 in Mexico. After Mexico, this leaves the championship standings as follows with 5 races to go, including tonight's Grand Prix. Here are your championship standings. We'll stay on board with McConey, who's on a lap on the mediums. JB Bowie sits top. His lead is decent. 233 points. He's got a 21-point gap to the car behind, so it's a healthy lead. But with 5 races to go, plenty of points still to be picked up, and plenty of opportunity for a couple of the guys behind him to jump him. Jack, it's not your title yet, mate. You need a solid result again tonight to keep momentum going. And I'm sure he'll know without me telling him. I think he knows it's a little bit of pressure. He mentioned it in the chat today. A couple of the boys putting some pressure on him. One of them people is Cole Paradox. Cole Paradox and Jack Bowie had a real big battle all season, to be fair. When I was commentating a few races, well, a while ago, them two were top. They're still top now, showed unbelievable consistency. Cole Paradox sat in second with 212 points, currently 21 points behind Jack Bowie. But a big result tonight. That could change again.
A couple of medium tyre users, Kes.
Yes.
There
is indeed, mate.
McConey,
that's the one. Atom's saying good luck for the rest of the season here, Chink. You got an Alpine fan in the chat.
Oh, my number one fan.
As Chip mentioned, a couple of medium runners, of course. Whatever tyre you set it, if you get into the top 10, whatever tyre you set your fastest tyre on, you'll start the race on. So four times so far, and even split, 2 on the softs and 2 on the medium. So Mazzles and McConey possibly trying to get into Q3 on the medium tyre. Or, if we're going out on the mediums to get a lap in, who knows? Got 10 minutes to go, plenty of time to change that. McConey did just invalidate his time, so only the 1 lap so far on the mediums for McConey. As mentioned, Jack Bowie sits top, Cole Paradox second. In third after his win last week, he's closed the gap on the boys above him. Strauss, that big win last week in Mexico, he sits third in the championship on 205 points, just 7 points separating him to the Red Bull of Cole Paradox in P2. So it's very much looking like a 3-horse race for the title at the moment. Only 28 points separating Jack Bowie in first to Strauss in third. I don't want to rule out likes Dat Rowan, McConey and the Nacho Man, but they've got a lot of work to do in the last 5 races if they're to put any sort of pressure on the top 3, especially with only 5 races to go, as mentioned. Anything on track, Chimp, that I need to be highlighting before I carry on?
No.
The lap's starting to fly in, Chimp. Bowie sets his best time so far on a 105 dead on mediums. That's only 2 tenths slower than the Nacho Man, who set it on the soft. So Bowie once again, Chimp, showing why he's championship leader. Both Alpha Tauris looking to get into Q3 together, and so far looking pretty good for that. That's your top 3 in terms of the driver standings. We'll touch the constructors as well, Chimp. Aston Martin and Alpine, Kez, 7th and 8th. I'm above you by 1. It's close.
Alpine are 8 out of 10.
8th, mate. What's going on there?
I've not been a driver all season.
Yeah, so currently your driver standings are as follows. Speaking of Nacho Man in the Mercedes, it's Mercedes, as they are in real life, top of Constructors' Championship. They're on 1,094 points. Closely behollered by their neighbour team Williams, who are currently second on 1,046. McLaren sit third on 1,013, so it's very close between Mercedes, Williams and McLaren with 5 races to go. Alpha Tauri 4th, Red Bull 5th, Alfa Romeo 6th, Aston Martin, up the Aston Martin. I got big points for us on Monday. Me and my boy got us big points on Monday, Aston Martin. me and Matt Rowney. So hopefully we'll jump a little bit from that. We're only 2 points behind Alfa Romeo going into this week, so hopefully we'll have jumped them, but we'll see. Alpine in 8th, Ferrari in 9th, and Haas. Oh dear. Like in real life, this Kez. Haas bottom. I think Ferrari were bottom, but I think Wild Dog's form in Tier 4, when he had that mad run of form, put them 9th. Hey, to be fair, Chimp, Gautier's just going quickest for Haas. Come on, Haas. Up the Haas.
Must have heard you on the
Must have heard us. Must have heard us in the stand going mad.
That's it.
But there I agree. Constructors' Championship, of course. Still 5 races to go. Plenty of points to be picked up. Plenty of changes to be had. I remember when Racing Point went on a ridiculous run last year from towards the bottom. I think they won it last year. They started, I think it was 9th after the first couple of weeks. Went up to first, won it. So still plenty of time, things to change in that regard. I even done a bit of research, Ket, on last year's race in Austria. I thought, why not? The Tier 3 race in Austria last year was won by that guy Drapes, who's not here. He's not racing in this race, but he won it last year. Fretty got second, and 4-Star, who I believe won the championship last season, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he won it last year. He got a 3rd here. McConey, Kes, we mentioned him already tonight. He's here in Q2 at the moment. He got 5th here last season. Cole Paradox, who's also here tonight, got 6th last season. And the boy himself, Mr. Freefall, he even got a P7 here. So well done, Scott. Good luck in your race tonight. I just thought I'd cover last year's race. Why not? That was a Tier 3 race last year in Austria, won by that guy Drapes, who wins here tonight. Any early predictions, Chimp, for the winner? If you had to make a very early prediction?
If I had to make a prediction, Kez, I'm not going to be biased and go for the Sadistic King. I'm going to go for JB Bowie.
Oh, okay. Just because he's the leader, or anything in particular as to why?
Not just because of that, because really that doesn't matter, does it? Anyone?
No, of course not. Of course, 100%.
But just
yeah, I think that's a very fair point, and I think you're placing a very safe bet there, aren't you? That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, ring doorbell.
Ignore that. Yeah, no, I think it's a very safe bet. I think, you can't win it safe. If Jack's listening, it's a little bit of pressure on him, of course. But a very safe bet there. Strauss, Chimp, he's one to watch, isn't he? Setting fast laps again here. Won last week, bit of momentum. He's changing your mind. He's on to watch, of course. As we mentioned, won last week in Mexico. He's really putting pressure on the two above him. Bowie and Cole Paradox. As I mentioned, he's only 7 points behind Cole Paradox. He's only 28 points behind Bowie, so Strauss could have a really late surge for the title here. And I'm sure that Bowie and Cole Paradox know a lot about him. They'll be seeing that he set the fastest time there by some margin, 4 tenths to McConey at the moment. Mentioned Haas being at the bottom of the Constructors' Championship. They're currently sat 2nd and 3rd in Q2, so looking pretty good there, McConey and Gautier. Speaking of Cole Paradox in P2, Chimp, he's just invalidated his time, so he's not having the greatest quality so far.
No, a lot of invalidations going on. I'm not too sure whether that's because of maybe some medium runners not used to the tyres or what it is. I think it's a bit of pressure as well. There's 5 minutes to go. You're starting to push. If you know you're not in that top 10, a little bit of pressure, isn't there, to get through? And a little bit of a mistake can happen, a little bit of lapse of concentration. I did it myself on Monday in Q1. Sorry, obviously we don't do Q1, doing in qualifying. First lap I lost the car, spanned the car. It's very easily done in qualifying, and qualifying such fine margins in every regard. And I think there you've seen. Pick up the Alpine.
Is that sadistic? On mediums as well, Chimp. That's a good lap, that. It's a good lap. He's loving it. Big up the Alpine, says Chimp. A lot of pressure on him now, isn't there, Chimp? You mentioned a lot of pressure on him tonight to deliver the points.
Okay.
Sadistic King, that's a very impressive lap of 104.5 on the medium compound tyre. Now, I don't get excited, because there's still 4 minutes to go, and of course things can change. But as it stands, Chimp, the top 6, it's an even split. 3 on the softs, 3 on the mediums, and that would be great in the race, wouldn't it, to start like that?
Brilliant.
That's what you want to see. Alternate strategy.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Just a bit of change,
100%. I mean, I hope it does stay like that. I think it may change, of course. People might come out, especially if you're not safe on the mediums. I love it. Do you know what? I've always been a big fan of Q2, and it sounds really obvious, but I love the battle and the strategies, a lot of drivers want to go through on them, not just in Austria, but in any race. You know, you want to go through on the mediums, don't you? But have you got enough in you to get into that top 10, or will the soft runners just blitz you? I've always really liked Q2, and I find it really interesting. And you can see here, proof in the pudding, the top 6. It's an easy done, Kes. You're going through on the mediums. That's your boy.
Sadistic King, put your feet up, mate. Have a break. You're through to Q3.
What, you've just dropped now to 13th?
Yeah. Everyone just gets a 103. Sound.
Commentators cursed him and he's out.
Yeah.
But no, joking aside, that's a really impressive lap by Sadistic. And when you sat there in Q2 with 3 minutes to go with your feet up like Chimp's head, you've done a pretty good job, haven't you? Cole Paradox, Chimp, he's hanging by a thread here. I don't want to jinx him. He's P2 in the championship. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. But he's leaving it late here, Chimp, on an out lap, isn't he?
He is.
I'm sure he'll be fine. Don't want to jinx him.
Have to be either a banging lap or an early pull out and you go again.
There's a yellow flag as well, Chimp, in sector 2. That's Craig going a wall. He's only 10th. By no means whatsoever is he through. No visible damage there. He spun again though, Kez. Them tyres have gone on the mediums. He's on 3 laps on them as well, Chimp, and he's not in the top. He's in the top 10 just, but not looking safe. He could be at risk here, Craig. Let's get on board then with the man who currently sits second in the Drivers' Championship, a man that's going to try and hunt down Jack Barry, but a man that's also got to try and stay clear of Strauss behind him in what is looking like a real tasty 3-horse race for the title, unless somebody further down can make a ridiculously late rally towards the top. 2 minutes to go according to our calculations here in Q2, and Cole Paradox, the only driver left yet to set a lap. I'm sure he will be absolutely fine. I have no doubt at all that he'll be fine. He's not P2 in the championship for no reason, Chimp, is he?
No, are you P2?
I'm P1. I've gone to the top now. It's not been officially confirmed yet. But as far as I'm aware,
that's why I said it, because it's not been officially.
No, as far as I'm aware, I am P1. But we will see. Cole Paradox, there you go, Chimp goes second. Panic over.
There we go. Don't worry.
Panic over. Who's at risk then, Chimp, here for you? Craigo looks at trouble here, Kez. He has just set a purple sector though. But would you want to restart the race on old mediums? 4-lap hold?
I think I
don't know.
I got 22 out of mediums, I think.
I mean, let's see where he goes. He's going to go through here pretty comfortably, I think. He's gone up to 7th, which I think... I don't know, actually. There's a lot of the soft runners coming out. But if he does go through Craigo there, he's done 5 laps on them tyres. He span on them tyres. Them tyres, I mean, they look okay. But I don't think they'll be great. And realistically, you want to be getting them mediums to about lap 20... Probably about lap 22. Maybe lap 20, actually. About lap 20 onwards, really. Of course, there's probably going to be safety cars, etc. Things can change, but I don't know. I mean, Craigo knows more than I am. He's a better driver than me. He's in a higher tier than me, and I'm sure he knows what he's doing, but I'd be a little bit cautious then. I think it's one to keep an eye on there, Chimp.
Yeah, it is. It's weird because, I mean, like I say, he's a better driver than me, but I did
it's a strange
22.
one.
I did 22 on the mediums, and they were new mediums.
Yeah.
Also, started off in the rain, so wasn't really pushing as much. It'll be interesting. It could, if it does end up starting on them, it could split his stops up a bit. It could make a 1-stop into a 2-stop and go for that medium soft, which could work out for him. It could not.
Yeah. All the time will tell, Chimp.
Because it doesn't matter where you start; it matters where you finish, Kes.
100%, mate. Completely and utterly agree. Mazzle's there. Invalidated his lap on the second to last corner. I was going to say, I was watching Mazzle's, and all 4 of his wheels were off track, and there was no sign of invalidation. I was like, has he got away with that, really? Then it pops up. Looks to see fair. Oh, okay. So the other Alpha Tauri driver, we mentioned a lot about Jay Bowie tonight, but Jacko, another one that, to be fair, this season, having a pretty good season, Jacko. He's currently sat 8th in the championship on 89 points. He still have hope that he can chase down the likes of Dragon on Speed and Donacho man ahead of him and get a top 6 finish here, Jacko. So definitely one of the most underrated drivers in the tier. Had a very good season so far. And as Chimp mentioned there, a solid Sector 1. Was it Sector 1 or Sector 2, Kes? Was it Sector 2, sorry?
Sector 1.
Sector 1, okay. He rounds the last corner. A little bit hesitation there from Jacko, but let's see where he goes.
6th.
We say he's 12th.
Oh,
12th, Kes, that's Bowie. It's Bowie. That's Bowie, he's gone 6th. Yeah, Jacko... does he go again? No, he's done, isn't he? So Jacko is out, unfortunately. Looks like Mazzle's, Chimp. I think the Aston Martin versus Alpine battle. I think he might have won here, Chimp, so far, because Mazzle's are going into the pits.
Mazzle's.
Oh, he's through, isn't he? He's through, isn't he? Just realised. because the rest are done. So Mazzles has wormed it, literally by the skin of his teeth. Love that. As we mentioned, only 13 drivers in Q2 due to a couple of DNFs in Q1, so only 13 in this. Should be 15, of course. But Mazzles Chimp has actually wormed it into Q. He'll get pole now, won't we? After that, he'll get pole.
Nah, Sadistic King.
Got a big fan of Sadistic King here. Only because he's in the Alpine. If you're in any other car, Chimp won't be having any of it, would he?
That's not true. That's Sadistic King.
Thank you so much to the 10 people that are currently in the stream. Make sure you drop a like. Comment below who's going to win this race. Let us know. Give us a prediction. If you want us to watch any driver in particular, please do let us know. So, unfortunately, Doomsray, Jacko, and JB are the cars that are out in Q2. In terms of the actual starting tyre, Sadistic King, who Chimp has mentioned, Gottiella, Fallon, and Craigo will all start the race on the medium compound tyre. The rest of the boys in the top 10, of course, will all start on the soft. Doomsday, Jacko, and Barry will have a free choice of tyre they can pick. And watch Doomsday, by the way. Keep an eye on him. Starting 11th, free choice of tyre. Could definitely be one to watch out on there as the race progresses. And he is also Austrian Chimp on his own Grand Prix. So that'd be nice, wouldn't it? An Austrian winning the Austrian Grand Prix, that'd be lovely. So big up Doomsday. Let's keep an eye on him as it progresses, Kes. But 3 Dutch boys in the top 3 there, Chimp. The Dutchies are on fire. They're on fire. Vipersken will be chuffed, won't he?
Well, he'll be buzzing.
He'd be absolutely buzzing supporting the Dutch boys. They're on, no matter what I do, what race I commentate, the Dutch boys always seem to smash it. Just a different breed, aren't they? On fire. Max Verstappen's boys are on fire. Who's taking pole, Kez, are you? Who's your prediction?
Strauss.
You said Bowie before, didn't you? Oh, you say Bowie for the win. You said Bowie for the win, didn't you?
I said Bowie for the win.
Right, I've got a couple of facts here about the Red Bull Ring, the Austrian. I know you like a good fact, Kez, don't you? You love a good fact. He loves a fact. So, of course, he's a fact fan. Who isn't a fact fan? So, of course, we'll go through the basics first. Austria, of course, is a 10-turn circuit, one of the shortest circuits in Formula 1, 3 DRS detection zones, which is pretty impressive. A short circuit, but 3 DRS zones. I think that's pretty impressive. So, Austria, big up Austria. Of course, one is that long one, isn't it, from after turn 1 all the way up to turn 3, then after turn 3 down to turn 4, and of course you've got the on the run down from turn 10 down to turn 1. They're your 3 DRS sections. I expect plenty of overtakes tonight on a track like this, and it should make for an absolute banger of a race. We'll stay on board with Strauss, who's preparing for his fast lap. Chimp's prediction for pole. Of course, Austrian Grand Prix. I believe it's based in Spielberg. Is that? I think I've got that right. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's based in Spielberg. Again, if I got that wrong, please do let me know. And it's got a capacity of 40,000 fans. And I always remember, for me, Austria, I just remember all the Dutch fans there for Verstappen. I don't know if you remember that. At the stand at the top, there's a lot of orange t-shirts in the crowd now, actually, as well. Maybe the Dutch boys celebrated in full force again here tonight, Jim.
There's a lot of orange smoke, sort of turn 5, I think it is.
They're here for Dutch boys, aren't they? Dutch fans everywhere. Look at them all, they're everywhere. But I always remember, like it was a couple of years ago, when I think Verstappen won. He definitely won the race, and they were everywhere. So yeah, 40,000 fans at the Austrian Grand Prix. Of course, it is an FIA Grade 1 circuit. Obviously, it has to be in the F1 calendar. And it's got a former name before the Red Bull Ring. This will be awful, but I'm going to try and pronounce it. The Osterreichring. I think it's got maybe a bit of a German pronunciation to that, Chimp. The Osterreichring. I don't know.
Austrian.
Oh yeah, maybe an Austrian. Yeah, maybe not a German. Maybe an Austrian. Definitely not an English one, anyway. And of course, it's held the Austrian Grand Prix that's been held here since 1970. As Craigo sets the first lap of Q3 for 1:48, the battle for pole. Chimp back Strauss. Here he comes then. Rounds the last corner for his first lap, and Strauss sets an opening lap of a 1:45, 3/10 quicker than Craigo. Chimp, quiz question for you, Quiz question for the stream. Who currently holds the lap record for the Austrian Grand Prix? Get your answer in the stream quickly. Get it in. Get it in.
Valtteri Bottas.
That's your guess, is it? I won't say it just yet, but there's Chimp's guess, Valtteri Bottas. If you're in the stream, let us know who you think it is. Who holds the current lap record? It's a 1:05.6, which was set last year in F1. Anyone make a guess before I tell you who it is? Chimp reckons it's Bottas, who of course won here last year in Austria. Any predictions from anyone in the stream before I reveal the answer? I'll give you a minute. No, don't be Googling it though. Don't be Googling it. Have a guess. I wouldn't have guessed it, I'll be honest with you. Atom reckons Lewis Hamilton. It's a safe bet, innit, Atom? Atom playing it safe for Lewis Hamilton. Come on, Atom. Think outside the box, mate. Mazepin, you know what I mean? It's actually Carlos Sainz, Kez. Carlos Sainz is the lap record holder here with a 1:05.6. He set that for McLaren. Speaking of McLaren, Strauss in the pits. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would not have guessed that.
I remember him being quite dangerous, though.
He's a good driver, isn't he? Good driver.
He's a good driver.
Very good driver.
Lando got third.
I believe it was, but wasn't there 2 Austria races last year because of COVID? Yeah. Lando got third in one. I remember Bottas winning that race because I think Verstappen may have DNF'd. I think wasn't it the first race of the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I do remember that. Someone's asked how long will this race take? Well, Monday's race, I've got it here actually. Another thing that I wrote down. Monday's race took 45 minutes and 32 seconds. There was 2 safety cars on Monday. 1 safety car, Chimp. 2, 1. I can't remember. 2 on Monday. And a few DNFs as well. So it averages between 40 and 50 minutes, this track. It's quite a quick one. And with no rain as well, I'm expecting it to breathe. We had rain for 9 laps as well, which slowed it down a little bit. This is meant to be a dry race, so I fully expect this to be quite a quick one. With 6 minutes to go in Q3 as the battle of the pole heats up. The pole time here on Monday, Chimp, in Tier 4 was a 1:03.3 set by Mark Wilson. He would currently, to be fair, Mark, be actually pole here, Chimp. So big up Tier 4. Mark Wilson would be pole as it stands. Just a 1:03.357 was what Mark set. I don't want to brag, Chimp, but I'd be second here at the moment. I'm sure it'll change.
20 minutes ago.
I'm sure it'll change. I'm sure the pole time will change as these boys put on fresh tyres, etc. In the battle for pole. We'll keep aboard then with Cole Paradox, the man who was mentioned, had a bit of a, I won't say difficult spell in Q2, maybe a bit of a frustrating spell in Q2. It took him a bit of a while to get his time together, but he flew through in the end. And he is going to try and put his car on the front row. Bowie, Strauss and Cole Paradox with his massive title fight, and pole position could be absolutely huge on a track like this. Last week in Mexico, Chimp, you probably didn't want pole, did you? You probably wanted a second or a third with that long rundown. In Austria, you definitely want to start pole, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely, no doubt about it.
It's quite a short rundown. Plus, you're on the outside. You don't really want to be on that inside. I think you're on the outside.
Yes, you're on the outside. Yeah. Couple more facts here, Chimp. Another fact, don't we? Should do another fact. Do another fact. Why not? It's quite a basic one, this. Nothing too extravagant, but the Red Bull Ring has the fastest overall lap time on the calendar. However, it's only the 4th shortest track. Kez, which 3 tracks are shorter than the Red Bull Ring? I didn't know this.
If you stretched them out?
Just in terms of like length, yeah. I didn't know this. I knew one of them was shorter than Red Bull Ring. I had no idea about the other 2.
Brazil?
That's a good guess. It is Brazil. Brazil is shorter than the Red Bull Ring. That's one of them. There's 2 more. I'm surprised you not got 1 straight away. Atom said Hungary. Hungary's not, unfortunately, Atom. Good guess, though, mate. Decent guess. The other 2 are Monaco, Chimp, which you'd expect, and Mexico, which kind of surprised me. I mean, I know it's got a really long straight.
To be fair, Mexico, you're in Mexico about the 113s.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, but I'm sorry. It surprised me. I mean, obviously, it's got the longest straight in F1, I think, hasn't it? But it certainly surprised me a little bit. Strauss, Chimp, you called him for pole. He's pole at the moment with 4 minutes to go. 1:04 dead from Strauss. 3 tenths quicker than Craigo. Still backing your bet. Still backing it.
Yeah, got it. Although, if there was one person who I wouldn't mind getting above him, it's Sadistic Kick.
I was waiting for that. And here's one. We'll do one more fact. We'll end it with a third fact. With 3 victories in the mid-1980s, Alan Prost is the most successful driver in the history of the Austrian Grand Prix. McLaren remain the most successful constructor, so it's sitting well for Strauss here, Chimp, with McLaren. They've won 6 times here, with Mercedes winning 5 times in Austria. Interesting. Good facts, these, Chimp, aren't they? Good facts.
Very good facts.
And one more fact for you, because I like this one. The Red Bull Ring is one of several Formula One circuits, including Barcelona, Silverstone, and the Circuit of the Americas, to also host races in MotoGP. Some belting facts there about the Austrian. I mean, I'm not being funny. There's some corkers there. And of course, last year's race in real life was won by Northerner. Oh, it's this year's race, to be fair, not last year's race. Last year's race was won by Valtteri Bottas. This year's race was won by Max Verstappen. Bottas got second, and Lando Norris got another podium. He came third here. Loves Austria, Lando Norris, doesn't he? Another podium in Austria. So that was this year's race in real life. That was on Sunday the 4th of July this year. That's pretty much all you need to know about the Austrian Grand Prix, Chimp. It's 36 laps tonight at 50%, and with 2 minutes to go, you're still on for your bet here, Chimp, with Strauss, but there's a couple, including JB Bowie, who will want to beat him. Bowie on a lap now, Kez, going on the last couple of corners. Our current championship leader has got 2 minutes to get one over on Strauss and take pole. Can he do it? He rounds the last corner now, Bowie. Not the greatest exit there from his standards, but he's going to cross the line and go 1:46, Chimp. Only 5th fastest for Bowie as it stands with 2 minutes to go. He's still backing Strauss, Chimp, or do you think someone could do a late rally here?
Not hard to say, because everyone's got a decent lap in them. Well,
apart from Murphy, who's retired on track, I think, Chimp, on the last corner. Yes, he has. On board then with Cole Paradox, who's on a lap here. Will this disrupt Cole Paradox's lap? Where is Murphy? He's in the water. He's nowhere near him, to be fair. It's where Harvey retired on Monday in the Tier 4 race. Paradox, can he get one over on Strauss? He only goes 5th fastest, and for now, Strauss's pole is still in shape. Who's next across the line, Chimp? Is it the Alpha Tauri of Bowie? It is, Kez, and Bowie just set a fastest lap of, a fastest sector 2, not a fastest lap, a fastest sector 2. Can Bowie get one over Strauss here? And can our championship leader take pole? A minute to go in Q3. It's a really important corner. Bowie takes it very clean, touches the curb, crosses the line at 1:04 to beat. Oh, he misses out by less than a tenth, Chimp. Can he go again? Possibly. But he spins the car into a wall and his wing comes off, and that's Bowie's chances of pole out of the window, Chimp. Sadistic King's out. Who's next? Craigos invalidated. Gautier. He's in the pits. He's not going to go again, is he? Can Cole Paradox do it? Can he set a purple sector? Let's have a look. Cole Paradox currently second in the championship. Can he get one over his title rivals here and take pole? He rounds the last corner. A 1:04 dead is the time to beat for pole. It's a 1:04.4. He stays in P6. That's him done. So P6 at the very best for Cole Paradox, Chimp. Strauss going again here. He is. Strauss looking to improve even more, Kez. What a beast. What a beast. Mazzles then. In the Aston Martin, currently it's at 8. Can he jump a couple? He's not actually improving his lap as it stands. Strauss in the pits. He knows he's probably done enough for pole here. Bar a late rally from somebody else. Where can Mazzles go? Can he improve on his P8? Mazzles from P8. Stays P8. Next is the AlphaTauri Bowie, of course. Span, that's him done. Bowie cannot get pole. Next then, Kez, is Craigo. We haven't really talked about Craigo tonight, Chimp. Can Williams get pole there? They're well in the mix of constructors. He's invalidated this time. No, he's not going to get pole as he spins in the pits as well. What a good entry! What a good entry into the pits.
The pits do it in style. Love that, Craig.
Here comes a Nacho, man. He's 2 temps up. He goes from 9th up to 5th. A good point there from the Nacho man. And Cole Paradox spins into a wall. And I think that is pole confirmed, Kesh. You called it with Strauss. And Strauss, who won in Mexico last week, will start pole here, followed closely by his championship rival, JB Bowie. Cole Paradox sat a little bit further behind in the Red Bull in P7. But a real interesting qualifying Kez there, and a 1:04 dead is enough for pole there for Strauss. Are you changing your prediction for the winner, or are you still sticking with Bowie?
I'm going to stick with him.
Ooh. Okay.
Never change.
Never change your prediction, mate. Never change it. I agree. I'm just going to check the chat very quickly. Get a quick drink, Chimp, as we prepare for the race. And there is confirmation of your Q3 times. Congratulations to Strauss in the McLaren for taking Paul Bowie closely following him on 0.069 behind him. Statistic King, as Chimp mentioned, big fan of him, Kez. He's on the second row with Craig Gold and Atcherman and Gautier together. Cole Paradox, McConey, Mazzles and Murphy complete your top 10. Qualifying done as we get ready for 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix here in Spielberg. Going to get a quick drink, let the drivers prepare their tyres, their fuel, etc., their strategy, and we're back in a moment for Season 5, Tier 3, Race 11 here at the Red Bull Ring. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to this commentary here in Cone Racing League. We are ready, or just about ready, for the Austrian Grand Prix here in Tier 3. 5 races to go in this championship as the battle really starts to heat up now. Every single point matters and every position will play its part in this championship. It's going to be, I have no doubt, an intense and interesting, a superb and a drama-filled race here. 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix as our drivers get on the grid and begin their formation lap. Chimp, are you with us, mate? Chimp obviously not back yet, but we will crack on regardless. As you can see, a pretty much even split there. I did mention that Sadistic, King, Craig and Gautier would all be starting on the medium compound tyre. Outside the top 10, it's very much medium dominated, apart from Christoph, Leon and Dat Rowe and the rest of the boys starting on the medium compound tyre. Doomsday and the Ferrari definitely want to keep an eye out on tonight. I did mention him. The Austrian in the Austrian Grand Prix looking to win his own Grand Prix. He sats 11th on them fresh mediums, definitely on longer strategy. One to look out for, as is our Jacob, a man that's had a really good season so far, very underrated driver in this tier. Jacko, as is Pheasant Plucker as well. So a lot of the boys outside the top 10. Leon, another one that got a P2 last week in Mexico. A lot to look out for. So Strauss, as Chimp called it, on pole here, 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of us. What will this race bring here? Tier 3, Season 5 here in Austria. As I mentioned, only 5 races to go now. The championship really coming to that business end of the season now, and every point matters here. That man there, Strauss, in what I would say, and I mean no disrespect to the other drivers, but I'd say a 3-horse race here. I think if anybody outside that top 3 wins it from here, wow, incredible. So I think it's between Strauss, Bowie and Cole Parrots, but of course every driver's got something to compete for in terms of something. Of course, you want to get a podium, don't you? Every driver wants to get a podium or a race win. That's the aim. That's why everyone's here. Everyone wants to win the race. So and I'm sure the full grid will be in for a lot of action, Kez, and I'm looking forward to it.
Cannot wait as we start of the grid gets lined up.
We'll stay on board then with that Rowan. It's actually it's a big McLaren sandwich. This from Strauss in P1 to that Rowan in 20th. It's a massive sandwich. It's a baguette, a McLaren baguette. This. And let's get ready then, as that Rowan rounds last corner. Please, everybody in the chat, let me know the stream is still okay. I've had no issues, I don't think so. Touch wood, we should be okay. As Christoph looks to have lagged out, he did mention in the chat that he's having some connection issues, poor lad. So's Leon as well, so a couple of connection issues there towards the back end of the grid. I'll stay on board then. I think we'll stay on board with the Nacho man in P5. Chim, if you want to stay towards the midfield, mate, towards the back, let us know.
Yeah, I'll go halfway, why not?
Let's do this as we get ready for the Austrian Grand Prix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And it is lights out, and away we go here for the Austrian Grand Prix in Tier 3. It's a good start from Strauss. He's already under pressure from a couple of cars behind him. Into turn 1 we go, Sadistic King in. There's a massive crash, and it is our Jacko. A huge crash at turn 1. It's a Fiesci already. It was a huge crash that unfortunately involved the AlphaTauri of Jacko. I mentioned how much of a good season he's had, and it was a huge crash there, Chimp. I'm not sure if you caught it, but he's out of the race completely. He didn't even make it to turn 1.
No, I didn't have my eyes on that, to be honest. I had my eyes on Mazzles, who started in 9th, he's now 7th. Him and Craigo both picked up 5-second penalties for hitting into each other. But I think Mazzles got caught up with Murphy, who's one place in front of him in 6th. Murphy wasn't sure I'm not sure if he could overtake, or maybe he was over his delta, but Murphy had to slow down. Mazzles had to brake quickly. As a result of that, Craigo went into the back of him, I think.
I am very surprised it's not a full safety car, Chimp. The VSC's already over. How they cleared Jacko's car that quick, I don't know. There's a VL flag towards the back. Someone else has gone. It's Gautier in the wall. He's very lucky not to have retired the car there. Already plenty of drama. Pheasant Plucker, who always seems to get very unlucky in the races, despite setting great quality pace, has no wing. He's in for an early pit stop. Mazzles, as Chip mentioned, another one that's in for an early pit stop. Towards the front though, Kez, Young Sadistic King leads the Grand Prix.
Things you love to see, it. That's what we want. Sadistic King stay there.
What to start this Austrian Grand Prix. Commiserations and heartbreak for the AlphaTauri of our Jacko, who didn't even make it to turn 1, bless him. I got a glimpse of what happened, but I cannot explain it. I'm sure we'll see more of it in the incident room a little bit later, and I'm sure it's one that the stewards will probably look into after the race. An action-packed first lap here in Austria. The losers, well, Pheasant Plucker and Gautier and Mazzles in the pits, but Bowie down 9. Chimp, we didn't even mention JB Bowie, Chimp, our championship leader, as Doomsray makes a lovely move on another championship contender, Cole Paradox, who's down into P8. That was a lovely move from the Ferrari. I did say before the race started, keep an eye on Doomsray, the Austrian, in his own Grand Prix. He's up 4, and that was a superb move from Cole Paradox, who's dropped another one, Kez. He's in the pits, actually, Cole Paradox, Chimp. So our top 2 in the championship, Kez, Cole Paradox and Barry, and a pretty nightmare start to this race. Strauss, despite being down 1 place, Kez, he's definitely the winner here so far in terms of the title.
Yeah, you'd have to say so. Strauss, although he's down 1, you'd have to say he's happy with it on the faster tyre.
Oh, there's a yellow flag, Chimp. It's Pheasant Plucker. We're getting to a nightmare, Pheasant Plucker, bless him. An absolute nightmare start to this race. He's already not too far off being lapped here. He's dropped last, more damage for him, and a nightmare third 3 laps here, Chimp. As Strauss, who lost that place to the Sadistic King, he's starting to reel him in a little bit, Chimp, as DRS will be enabled. Is DRS enabled now, end of this lap? Now, I think, actually.
Yeah, it will be.
So, Strauss, only 4 tenths off Sadistic King for the lead. 3 laps into it. Another yellow flag in Sector 2. Is that Murphy? It looks to have been Murphy. Yeah, I think it is Murphy. He's dropping and dropping and dropping. He's got Bowie behind him. Bowie needs to try and climb. He has a new yellow flag. That's McLaren of that Rowan, who, to be fair, was up 7 places. He had a really good start from last on the grid. He's just lost the car, though, and back down into P15. Anyone you're looking on particular, Chimp?
No, just keeping me eye on this battle up front. Strauss and Sadistic King, especially with this DRS now. Couldn't quite picking up on the first DRS zone, but good exit. And
a very good start. Yeah, I was going to say a very good start to this race for the reserve driver who's jumped 2 people into P1, currently your leader. The natural man also up to McConey in the Haas. A great start for him. He's up 4. William Game in the reserve tonight, up 9 into 5th. What a start for Alpine, Chimp. I don't want to jinx it, but Alpine both sit in the top 5, Kez, looking pretty good for some good points here at the moment. Of course, there's still 32 laps to go, Kez, but a little bit of a good start for them.
Yeah, top 5, both medium runners. And I'm trying to be not biased.
You've got to be excited there. Our championship leader Jack Bowie down 7, not the start that he would have wanted. Pressure possibly kicking in, but he is right on the rear end of Craigo now for that P8. And to be fair, Bowie on the softs, Craigo on the medium. You'd expect Bowie in the early stages of this race to get the job done. DRS here, of course, not the longest run down this, but I'm sure if you don't get him here, he will certainly put pressure on Craigo on the run up to turn 3 in the second. The detection zone was a penalty for JB. The penalty's starting to play a part already here. 3 of the top 10 have at least 1 penalty, and here comes Bowie then for that P8 position on the Williams of Craigo on the inside into turn 3. Wheel to wheel action. Bowie gets squeezed a little bit. Does he get the move done? No, he doesn't. Craigo not making it easier for Bowie, and right behind Bowie, Chimp, you've got Murphy and Dragon. So Bowie already, Chimp, in a bit of traffic.
Yeah, I think he'll get him now. Will he get him around
on the outside? He will. It's a lovely move from Bowie. He needed that because he's got a little bit of pressure here from not 1 but 2 Williams drivers. Craigo's a little bit wide there, and Craigo now got his teammate Murphy dragging on speed and the Mercedes of Jay Hartnell all behind him in a little bit of a 5-horse battle here for that P8 position. Towards the front, Chimp. Strauss now only 4 tenths behind Sadistic as we head on to lap 6 in this race for the lead. It's Alpine versus McLaren. The man who won last week in Mexico, Strauss, DRS here, and plenty of battery as well. You'd expect Strauss to get the move done here and retake the lead of this Grand Prix, especially when he's on the softs and Sadistic is on the mediums. And there you go, Chimp. Strauss retakes the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 6.
Yeah, and he's got the move done, but Sadistic King still on the stick in there, and he might even have him back here with the DRS.
There's a big crash. There's a massive crash with 2 cars, I think, or maybe just the one. Got to get it's the Barry. He's very lucky not to be out of the Grand Prix, but I think he's going to get he's been disqualified for reversing back onto the track. Is that really, game? How can they DSQ him for that? Oh, that's a shame. But the Haas have got to I think very unfairly gets DSQ'd there, Chimp.
Yeah.
What else are you meant to do? I've seen it before in this game, but what else is he meant to do?
Yeah, wow. He was on the grass. If you go to turn around and...
Sorry to interrupt, Chimp. I mentioned Dooms having a good start on the mediums. He's just lost his wing completely. It's a massive crash. Another one that's really lucky not to be out there. What is he doing? Oh, he's pulled over to let everyone go past. I feel for him there because he has no wing. He couldn't control the car, so he had to pull over to let everyone go past. So he didn't miss the pit. So that's a real shame for Doomsray after a really impressive start to the race. A couple of drivers here, Kez, that have got damage and are very lucky not to have retired the car.
Yeah, it's a weird one for retirements because I think did we have an early one on Monday?
We did. We had an early. I can't remember who it was. Harvey, yes. A couple of laps in, yes. We didn't have many on Monday, though. I don't think we had many on Monday, though, did we? I don't think there were many.
4, maybe.
I expected quite a few in the rain at the start, and there wasn't really any, was there? I don't think there was any in the rain. Everyone was quite good. So 7 laps in, 2 DNFs so far. Very harsh DSQ, may I add, for Gautier F1, and of course that big crash at turn 1 for Jacko. And so far, Strauss leads despite some very good pressure from Sadistic King on the mediums, of course. Another yellow flag there, so that's the McLaren of that Rowland, who's having a nightmare, bless him. His teammate Strauss, though, doing a good job here. Strauss aims to make it back-to-back wins, and I tell you what, if he gets back-to-back wins, he will be right in the mix with JB Bowie and Cole Paradox. And to be fair, them two not having a good start to the race. Bowie down 5, Cole Paradox down 4. So the top 2, as it stands, of course, a long, long way to go in this Grand Prix. But they're not in a great position here. As Strauss under pressure here from Sadistic King, who's got DRS here in the second detection zone. When they go from on the inside line, you've seen Hamilton and Albon crash here in real life. And for now, Strauss holds off Sadistic King, Kes, but he's putting him under some pressure, isn't he?
Yeah, Sadistic King doing a great job here on the mediums, keeping up with Strauss, not letting him have that distance. I mean, Strauss
He's
will
doing
be
a great job.
where he is. He's first on the softs. He's got free track. But Sadistic King doing the right thing here, keeping the pressure on him, not just thinking I'm on the slower tyres. I can see this out. He's keeping the pressure on him.
Well, both Alpine drivers are putting pressure on because William Gaming is right on the rear end of McConey, and he may go for a move here, William Gaming. The reserve driver, he does go for a move, and Alpine now are both drivers in the top four. Dat Rowan loses the car again. He's having an absolute nightmare here, bless him. But William Gaming, Chimp, really impressing here, the reserve driver, as Sadistic King retakes the lead of the Grand Prix, and Alpine all of a sudden looking very, very good, Chimp, in the top four.
Up the Alpine, love it. What a race.
Sadistic King, who of course will go longer on the means, another yellow flag. It's Craig with the Williams. It's a DNF for him, Chimp, and it's going to be a full course safety car. It's more drama. What an opening 8 laps we've got here, and the Williams of Craigo becomes the third DNF on the hards. Chimp, what a start to this race.
Yeah,
what?
We were saying there was people DNFing.
There, he's in the wall, Craigo. Sadistic King goes past him, Chimp. Does Strauss pit it? Is Strauss going to go... Oh, I thought Strauss might have gone past him. Who pits here, Chimp? I mean, I don't think Sadistic King will pit. Strauss will pit! Oh.
For me, Strauss, you have to pit there. Maybe a bit early, but to have a free pit stop, and he might come out.
Well, he's not the only one to pit, because in comes the Nacho Man, in comes McConey. Of course, William Gaming, Chimp. It's an Alpine top 2 here, Kez. Can you write it? Can you write that? Everyone else behind him, though, Kez, coming in pretty much.
Turns out we're only doing an 11 lapper.
You wish. Well, very interesting start here. 3 DNFs, Craigo, Jacko and Gautier out, and a safety car that'll bring everyone together. There's going to be fresh mediums for a lot of the grid here. You can see Strauss, Donacho Man, McConey, Bowie, Murphy, all going in for fresh mediums. The top 3 yet to pit, Sadistic, William Gaming and JB221. They're still all on the older mediums. They'll still push them for another 10 laps or so, yeah, easy. Especially under the safety car, and then put some soft on towards the end. I'm not too sure what these boys will do here on the mediums. I mean, you can probably push the medium. 26 laps is a long time on the mediums. You probably can do it. I have no doubt you can do it, especially under the safety car as well. May pit late for some softs, so Strauss, etc., especially if there's another safety car. So that could be one to keep an eye on. And to be fair, it's a free pit stop on the boys with the top 3 not pitting. It's a free pit stop for the ones behind them. Dragon on speed, Chimp, the only one to go onto the soft. So he'll definitely go on to keep an eye on there, Chimp, won't he? On the softs. Fresh softs.
Yeah, he'll want to pick up a few early places, especially with the everyone on mediums in front of him.
100%.
It's already shaping up like the race on Monday. We had an early safety car there.
Yeah.
And everyone pitting. Just need a late one. And then hopefully we're in for a cracker like again on Monday night.
Well, unfortunately, Chimp, Dat Rowan's been lapped, which is a real shame already. We know he had a couple of incidents on track, not his night, and you can see he's currently sandwiched between Jay Hartnell and Cole Paradox. And he's trying to overtake people, but obviously the game won't allow it. He's been lapped. And I'd imagine he'll probably get DSQ'd. He's got to be careful here. It's frustrating. I've been there myself, and I've seen other drivers be in that position when you've been lapped and you want to try and unlap yourself and the game doesn't let you. It's frustrating. But unfortunately there, looks like that Rowan's race, I wouldn't say he's over, because don't forget, top 15 get points, don't give up. There's a good chance here that 2 or 3 cars might DNF, so even though he's a lot down here, Chimp, all he's got to do is finish the race, and he might still get a point or 2 here. Yeah,
on the hards as well, he'll probably go to the end, possibly. I know now he looks after him. We should be coming in this lap because everyone's caught up now. Peasant Plucker just joining everyone on TIFF turn 4.
Don't forget as well, there's quite a few cars that aren't in the game here. The Aston Martin of Christoph and the Ferrari of Leon are both AI drivers, so of course they will not get any sort of points tonight. They are AI drivers, so technically speaking, that Roland is 15th at the moment, due to unless they can get back into the game, Christoph and Leon, but I don't think they can. I think they've been out for the whole race, unfortunately. Not something you want to see, but of course it's out of their control. But yeah, Christoph and Leon will keep going around as AI drivers, but they will not finish the race in terms of points, so bear that in mind. Chimp going to come in this lap, I believe, is it? Yes, it is. And Sadistic King is off. It's currently an Alpine top 2. The top 3 yet to pit. Strauss, you feel, still is the favourite here, and we'll want to hunt down that top 3. all on the older medium tyres. Here we go then, lap 12, we are get going again here for the Austrian Grand Prix in Tier 3. Round the first corner we go, the Nacho Man closely on the tail of Strauss. Probably the two favourites as it stands. We're not going to talk about the Nacho Man too much tonight, but on the fresh mediums, definitely with a shout of a race win here for the Mercedes, and he'll want to try and put some pressure on Strauss. William Gaming and JP, the two older medium runners, having a little bit of battle there. Well, that will not help him out, but to be fair, it will help Sadistic King out, Kes, because he'll be able to pull away. You can see he's already got a 1.2 second lead on his teammate here, Sadistic King Chimp. Yeah, JB goes for a dive against William Gaming wheel to wheel. There's a yellow flag somewhere in the midfield as well. But William Gaming and JB having a real scrap here. And for now, William Gaming gets that place back. But look at Strauss, Chimp, he's right in the mix.
Strauss licking his lips here.
Oh no! Contact! What's the damage?
I couldn't see any there.
No visible damage, but still potential that there is damage, because of course you can't always see it. Of course, Strauss on them fresh tyres, wanting to put pressure and overtake them two ahead of him, and because they're fighting, it's not going to be easy. Of course, no DRS just yet. If you're Sadistic King here, Chimp, you're laughing, aren't you? At the minute, clear track, he's gone down the road. You can see him up at turn 3, 1.6 seconds clear. But JB and Williams' battle there could have had a very negative impact on Strauss there, Chimp, couldn't it?
Yeah, because we're still not sure if he has got damage or not. But I hope for his sake he's not.
We're going to try again here, Strauss, because he's right on the rear end of them both again. For now, William Gaming does hold off JB, but he's starting to get a bit of a queue with William Gaming behind him, of JB, Strauss, the Nacho Man, McConey not too far behind either down the road. Sadistic King's lead remains at 1.6 seconds. It's not a great corner from Strauss, Chimp, so potentially a bit of damage there. I don't want to say for certain, so I'm not sure, but it was a bit of a dodgy corner that from Strauss. So I'm not too sure. Maybe damage. He has lost a little bit of time on the two ahead of him as well, Kez. He's got the Nacho Man right behind him. There's a yellow flag. It's going to be that Rowan who's out of the race, Kez. That could be a safety car, that. It's a VSC. It's all going off here, Kez. It's all going off in Austria. It's a 4th DNF, and it's the McLaren. That Rowan is a penalty for McConey for hitting the Nacho Man. Is he damaged for McConey? They're the worst penalties, then, aren't they? They're horrible to get.
Yeah. Maybe left end plate.
Oh, Kez, it's another safety car, I just realised.
Oh, crap.
A full course safety car, another one. He'll come in a lap ago. Bert Maylander's getting his wage here, and he's earning his wage. He's come out again.
Well,
and now we'll see what happens.
Sadistic King will not be happy with that.
No. And what do you do now?
I just wonder if then top 3 with being on the old mediums.
What do you do then? You can't get soft to the end, can you? So what do you do?
Do you go mediums again? Or?
Oh, I mean, I'd stick if I was Sadistic King. I would stick a bit longer.
I would stick. I think it's only going to do probably one lap, to be honest, if everyone catches
Let's see if he does stick. Or does he twist? He has a late decision. He weren't sure. He wasn't sure, was he? He had a bit of a break there, a bit of a time to think about it. So Strauss did have damage then, Chimp, clearly. There was damage. And that's going to really affect him. Is there a new wing? I'm assuming there is. There is a new wing, Chimp. So there was damage. And that is going to play into the hands of Cole Paradox and JB Bowie, who lost a lot of time on him in this race. Where's Cole Paradox now? He's 13th. He's also pitting, Chimp, to be fair. Bowie now kept up to 6th on fresh meetings, looking pretty good.
Yeah, we'll be back with how he's got back into this race.
So Strauss would have come out in 13th, so clearly there was damage, no visible damage, but I did mention it, didn't I, that them corners were look a little bit dodgy, them corners, and clearly they were. So that damage there from Strauss. He's on the fresh mediums. I mean, it is anyone's race here, Chimp, but if you're Sadistic King, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because you've not pitted yet, and rightly so, I wouldn't have pitted either. You're going to pit in the next, probably, 6-7 laps for softs. It's an interesting one, and it's been a very interesting first 15 laps. If you missed it so far, we'll bring you up to speed. 2 full course safety cars, 2 VSCs as well. It's been all going off here. A DNF on lap 1 at turn 1 for our Jacko. A very harsh DSQ for Gautier Fallon. Craigo losing it on track where we are now, into the barrier on the right. You can see his tyre marks are still there. And that Roland also lost it at that part of the track as well. So very interesting first 15 laps. Nowhere near halfway through the Grand Prix as of yet. The top three all yet to pit. Are they the only three on track yet to pit? Let's have a look. No, there's a couple of us, Christoph and Leon, but they're both AI drivers, so ignore them. Are they still AI drivers? I'm assuming they are. Yes, they are. Not as many penalties, Kez, as I expected. I thought there'd be a few more. So, but to be fair, all the drivers doing quite well. Only 4 cars have got a penalty.
Yeah, they're doing well. I don't know what it is. I think maybe the better drivers just take the curbs a bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, to only see 4 penalties, and they're only 3 seconds as well. By the way, it's a strange one.
Impressive.
We're saying that as tier 4 drivers.
Kev, me, you didn't get penalties, mate. We didn't get any penalties, did we? Which means you can't get pens. Yeah. Anyone can. Anyone can.
Well, yeah, true.
We said it before, didn't we, though, before the race started? If you can avoid penalties here, there's a good chance you'll jump a few places at the end. And to be fair, so far, there's not really many penalties, only 4. But there's still 20 laps to go in. Don't forget, a lot of these laps have been under a safety car or VSC. We've not really seen that much racing yet. And I still think there'll be a lot of penalties here as drivers start to push towards the end of the race, push for some positions, push for that win. I think penalties will start to pick up a little bit here. And if you're someone who started maybe in P5, P6, even further down in P10, P11, you've not got a penalty to your name, there's a fairly good chance you'll jump a few places because trust me, they'll start to creep up these penalties here. I have no doubt about it at all. It is in this lap, and for the second time, Cystic King's going to get us underway. It's still an Alpine top 2, but of course these two at the front yet to pit. Neither has the Alfa Romeo JB in P3. The Nacho Man still looking very good in P4. He's on them fresh air tyres. I would imagine he'll probably pit for softs a bit later as well. He may also go to the end on the mediums. We'll have to see how it pans out. But Cystic King, he went early last time. He got a very good lead on that one. He's gone early again, and he leads the Grand Prix as we approach lap number 17 here, Chimp. We're underway again.
Yep, back underway, just keeping my eye on Pheasant Plucker. He's in Aston Martin Sandwich, although Christoph knew it is an AI. So Strauss will overtake him. But Mazzles up alongside Murphy here. Yeah,
he is up to turn 3. It's Williams versus Aston Martin. Well, Mazzles will go for an inside move. No, he won't. 2 teammates in Tier 4 last year. Murphy and Mazzles, both Alfa and male drivers, I believe, last year in Tier 4. So they're good friends. They've got a good history together. They were a really good team as well in Tier 4 last season, were Mazzles and Murphy. Of course, opposition nowadays, but I'm sure there's still a lot of respect there, as there is for all drivers, of course. And for now, Murphy getting the better of Mazzles, who, to be fair to him, but I didn't realise he's also not. Is Mazzles pitted? He pitted very early, I believe, didn't he? Yeah, he's on 40 lap all medium, so he did pit. Lap 1, I believe, after an incident. Pheasant Plucker doing the same. Cole Paradox, Chimp, having a battle with Doomsray here. And for now, looks to have got the better of the Ferrari driver. Cole Paradox, as mentioned, second in the championship. His rivals Bowie in 6th and Strauss just ahead of him in 10th. And there's a penalty for JB Bowie, Chimp. That could be massive for our championship leader.
Yeah, just on the last corner, just took it a bit too much.
Bit wide.
On the right curb.
Strauss. Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
It's a close curb.
As Strauss gets a big.
He's going to make that move.
McConey's gone. Turn 1, McConey's gone, bless him, and damage for the Haas driver. A bad night for Haas so far. One of them already out, the other driver struggling at the bottom. The 2 bots of Christoph and Leon into the pits. As Strauss made a big move there on Pheasant Plucker at turn 1 to get himself into 9th. Now, can Pheasant Plucker defend from Cole Paradox, Doomsday, and Dragon on speed? He's got a queue behind Pheasant Plucker, and Cole Paradox is right on his tail, and he knows if Strauss has got past him, I need to get past him as well. I'm in a title fight with Strauss, says Cole Paradox. I need to get through. And the longer he's stuck behind Pheasant Plucker, the more costly it could be. But to be fair, Strauss has got traffic in front of him as well. He's got the Aston Martin of Mazzles and the Mercedes of Jay Hartnell towards the front. Cystic King still leads, and we'll do a pit stop for them softs in the next few laps. But it's still an Alpine top 2 here, Chimp, between Sadistic King and William Gaming.
That's what we want to see. Was that Haas going off track there? Was it McConey?
Yeah, it's McConey, bless him, having a bit of a tough time at the moment as Murphy gets a really good exit there on the first corner, looking to try and put some pressure, maybe overtake the championship leader JB Bowie, who will not want to be put into any fights. Bowie won't clear track here. He'll want to try and push as Murphy made a little bit of contact there with Bowie into turn 3. Bowie now got a DRS here and will want to try and put pressure on the older median run ahead of him, which is the other JB in the Alfa Romeo, the championship leader. A tough start to this race, Bowie. but due to a couple of safety cars, found himself in a pretty good position here. He has, however, got a penalty. They're one of 5 drivers even to have a penalty next to his name. And it looks like William Gaming Chimp started struggling on the mediums now because the Natural Man's right behind him.
Yeah, he is. The Natural Man got past JB. 10 lap newer tyres.
Yeah.
You should remember this lap, or maybe the next, you get past him. That's if none of the Alpines don't pit.
Jim Bowie fought better of a move there. A penalty for William Gaming Chimp. Penalty for Dragon on speed as well. Here's a big move in the race. This is Bowie looking to get a move on JB into turn 1. Bowie breaks late, gets the job done. And our championship leader starting to get into his groove a little bit now as the penalties, I said, did start to rack up. They are starting to rack up. Can JB come back at Bowie here towards the front? The Natural Man having a move on William Gaming. William Gaming on the inside line gets the job done, and for now Alpine remain in the top 2, but the Natural Man looks to have got a better exit there. Did he? No, he didn't. William Gaming got the DRS as well. An incident towards the back. It's Cole Paradox Chimp, second in the championship. Come off the track, he's down in 13th. That could be big. Didn't see what happened, Kez. Did you catch it?
I didn't see it, mate. I was seeing the same thing you were.
Doomsray! Oh, nearly went. Wouldn't make contact with Jay Hartnell as well. Very nearly a big crash there between the Ferrari of Doomsray and the Mercedes of Jay Hartnell. That could have ended in tears. But look at the queue here from Strauss upwards. Murphy, JB, Bowie, the Natural Man, William Gaming, Sadistic King, JB gets a penalty. The penalties, because I mentioned, didn't I? They're really starting to come into play now.
Well, we talked about the penalties, like buses. Don't want one and then 2 turn up at once.
Here comes Strauss for a big move into someone on Murphy. He cut the corner a little bit there, but he got the job done. Good respect there between the two of them. Murphy, though, going to come back here on Strauss. Can he get back at him? He can get back at him. Murphy retakes P6. Can Strauss come back into turn 3? Maybe he can, maybe he can't. He thinks better of it, but he'll get DRS here, as will most drivers in this ridiculous train for the race lead, led by Sadistic King, who's only 4 tenths now. His teammate William Gaming closed the gap, but then mediums will start to feel like ice now. They're due a pit stop for softs. The Natural Man in 3rd, Bowie 4th, JB also due a pit stop in 5th. There's a bit of a gap then down from to Murphy, Strauss and Mazel. An even bigger gap then down to Doomsray and Pheasant Plucker. But Chimper really interesting, 21 laps so far here. Who's your money on at the moment?
Like you say, JB Bowie's getting his groove now. Although, if I'm honest, the Natural Man, you'd have to say he's in pretty much the exact same position as JB Bowie on the 10 lap old mediums, although JB Bowie does have a penalty.
Jay Hartnell gets into the wall at the pit entry. Whether he's going to pit anyway, I'd imagine he was. Yeah, I think he is going to pit anyway. That's not ideal. JB into the pit, which bumps a few up. Murphy and Strauss going at it again here. Looks like Strauss has now got his move done for now into P5. JB goes, why? There's 4 of them battling for P1. Look at this. This is incredible. I'm sure that Sadistic King and William Gaming will be coming into the pits for their softs very, very shortly. As the Natural Man looking to take a move on the inside here of both of the Alpine drivers. This contact. William Gaming is the loser from that. He's dropped down to P3 as Bowie gets a move done, and I think that now probably triggers a pit stop for William Gaming, who's going to lose another place here to Strauss. It's all going off here, Chimp, and unfortunately there you knew you can't go 3 wide into that corner, and unfortunately for William Gaming it's cost him there. But can he pit Kez? Because if his teammate pits it'll be a double stack.
I think he'll have to keep
and he is pitting. Yeah, he's got to sticks. Oh, it's not going to be good for William Gaming that. So Sadistic comes into the pits after a very good stint on their mediums. William Games have to do one more lap here. There's an actual man from Bowie, from Strauss, and Bowie will know he's got a rival and a man who's in great form right behind him here now in what is turning out to be a superb race. And don't forget Strauss on them 5 lap better tyres. They'll feel a lot better than the Natural Man's and Bowie's tyres. Here comes William. Oh, it's contact between Strauss and Bowie, the 2 title contenders. And again, there's no visible damage to Strauss, Chimp, but there's a good chance that could be damage again that we can't see like he got earlier. And that could be really costly for Strauss.
Yeah, it could be. He's done so well. I think he was 13th from when he pitted from the first lap damage, and he's got himself up. He's got past so many drivers into 3rd. And if he has picked up damage there, he will be absolutely gutted.
Especially
so hard, and it's all been thrown in the bin.
Especially when he's hit his teammate, his rival, as Murphy now making a move on William, who might pit here. William is going to pit, and it's going to cause an absolute mess. I knew that would happen. And there's someone's end plate just come off there. Was it Doomsray's? I saw an end plate come off, and it is Doomsray's. The right hand side of that Ferrari, damage for Doomsray, and more heartbreak for him. He's looked good tonight as well at times. A little bit of bad fortune for him there. I knew that there'd be a contact there because I knew William Gaming was pitting. Murphy wanted to go for the move, and it's a bit of an awkward pit entry, Austria. We all know that. There's also a pit for Donacho, man, fresh meaning. So for now, Chimp, Bowie leads, Strauss behind him, first in the championship versus third in the championship. The man in second in the championship, Cole Paradox, sat in sixth on 8 lap old mediums. As Donacho man gets past Sadistic Chimp. This is a big battle here between two of the front runners that are both pitted. Donacho man on the fresh mediums, Sadistic King on the fresh soft Chimp.
Yeah, both on fresher tyres, although the natural man on the slower compound.
Yeah.
But it'll be good to see them two battle it out a bit lower down than they'd like, but I'm sure they'll make their way back up.
I have no doubt they'll make their way back up. And I'm sure that the natural man and Sadistic King, especially Sadistic King on the fresh soft, so want to really hammer them tyres. Now Doomsday said he got damaged, he's going to come into the pits now and put on a new, I'd imagine, a fresh set of softs. Mazzles do a pit stop on the mediums. In a good position in P4. Where did he start, Mazzles? I think it was towards the back, up 5 places. Had a good start to this race. In terms of places, he's now hunting down, as I mentioned earlier, his former Tier 4 teammate Murphy for that final podium position. Of course, a few of these drivers still got a pit. Penalties coming into effect again. Donacho man on the fresh tyres will not have wanted that penalty. William Gaming also on fresh softs getting a penalty. Sadistic King going wheel to wheel here with Donacho man into turn 3. Breaks really, really late and gets the job done on them fresh softs. He, Chimp, is definitely one to keep an eye on here. Sadistic King with these last 10-11 laps to go on the fresh softs.
He's in the right car for it.
He's in the right car. He's in a very good position as well on them fresh softs, no doubt about it.
He's had to, 11 laps left, you can still pick up. I think we saw William picked up 6 seconds in 2 laps.
Easy penalties.
So you can pick up pens easy.
100%.
And you might be on 2 warnings, you don't know.
Completely agree.
Does affect you, them warnings. Or that you might be on 2 warnings, you might not.
Especially it's in the back of your mind as well, isn't it, then?
If you know you're on 2,
back of your mind.
Even more pressure than you already got with people behind you, and especially if you're up there in the championship. The Sadistic King sets a fastest lap of 105.6 on the new softs that he's put on, and he's right on the tail of JB. Does he pick up DRS? He does, and he's trying to drain his battery, but he is low. But he might get it done anyway, and he does.
The wheels to wheel, he does get you on. He's on fire, and he's definitely one to keep an eye out on. Something else to keep an eye on is the top 2. Bowie under real pressure now from his championship rival. We know that Strauss won in Mexico last week. We know he's only 28 points behind Bowie in the championship race now, with 5 races to go, including tonight. And with 5 lap better tyres and no penalties, as it stands, he's definitely the favourite out of the 2. And if Strauss can win tonight, it'd be a big statement. 2 wins in a row with 4 races to go. And I'm sure that Bowie and Cole Paradox will be looking over their shoulders and may even get overtaken by him, depending on results tonight. Here comes Strauss, so with DRS, I don't think he'll get him here, but on the run up to turn 3, JB Bowie could be in a bit of trouble. He broke really early there, Strauss, to avoid any contact. He's obviously been involved in a couple of incidents tonight as Strauss, but look at this, they have DRS on Bowie again. I don't think he'll get it done here, but Bowie, looking at the red light is flashing on the back of the Alpha Tauri. 9 laps to go here as Strauss gets very close again to the rear end of Bowie. But of course, Bowie getting DRS on the AI of Leon, Chimp. The AI of Leon doing Bowie a solid here and giving him DRS.
Doesn't half put you off that AI, I tell you.
I'm sure he'll take it. What's happened to Sadistic King? He's come off the track, Kez. Sadistic King spun. The commentator's curse. He's lost 4 places, Chimp. I think it was at turn 3. He was looking so good, and that could affect him massively. Oh.
0 to 0.
Oh, heartbreak for a man who set some fantastic pace tonight. Chimp was loving him. And his teammate William Gaming now looking the more favourable out of the 2, in the higher position. Did Sadistic King get damaged? Possibly. We will find out, as the top 2 still battling it out. Bowie knows, though, his mediums will start to deteriorate, and this could be the moment for Strauss to take what could be a massive place, not just in the race, but potentially in the title fight. Strauss leads the Grand Prix. Bowie gets very close to the rear end of him. They'll have to break late, and Strauss has gone. And then final off at them tyres for Bowie, clearly struggling now on them 17-lap-old medium tyres, and Strauss with no pens, clearly looking the favourite here between the three championship title contenders, the other one, Cole Paradox, down in P5, but Strauss now got past Bowie, and he's starting to already pull away from Bowie, over a second clear between the two already, and that could be a big, big move in the championship, that chimp.
It could be. I was just keeping my eye on Sadistic King, William.
The two Alpines, yeah, I just realised that.
Going 3 wide into turn 3. Sadistic King, who was in 10th, got the move on both of them, but his teammate has overtook him. William Gaming now into 8th.
There's no team orders at Alpine, is there?
Pheasant Plucker. Pheasant Plucker was so unlucky there. He was doing well in 8th. He was keeping up with both of the Alpines.
Well, there's no team orders at Alpine. Sadistic King just flew past him there, and William Gaming now will be under pressure from Pheasant Plucker. They both got a DRS here, but he got a better exit there. The Pheasant Plucker nearly made contact into turn 1. Pheasant breaks late. There's contact between the two. There's more contact between the two. Alpine versus Alfa Romeo. They're very, very close here. They've both got DRS on Sadistic King, who could be in trouble himself here. There's 3 of them going battling Alpha P8, and Pheasant Plucker for now, he gets past William Gaming, but I have no doubt he will try and come back here. DRS again. Here comes William Gaming. He's got no battery. Pheasant Plucker, he could be in trouble here. On the outside comes William King. In to the corner we go. And there's contact again, there's contact. Are they glued together, these two? What are they doing? How they've not crashed, I will not know. They're going to get contact again. And there's a massive crash between the two of them. A huge crash. You could see it coming. An absolute mile off between Pheasant Plucker and William Gaming. You just knew, Kez, it was going to happen at some point there.
Yeah, I mean, just coming around that turn 4 and then turn 5, they were just, like you said, they were glued together. So, one tiny road turn.
And speaking of moves, here comes Mazzles, and Cole Paradox. Cole Paradox with a double move on Mazzles and Murphy, and he's back into 3rd and the top 3 in the championship. Strauss, Bowie and Cole Paradox could all be sharing a podium here. What a double move by the man who's 2nd in the championship. Cole Paradox will not like seeing Bowie and Strauss ahead of him. That was superb. Fair play to Murphy and Mazzles for leaving him room. But not just 1, but 2 moves. In fairness to Mazzles, he's done 27 laps on the mediums. They will start to feel really, really sluggish now. But going back to that incident between Pheasant and William Gaming, Chimp, you just knew it was going to happen, and it screwed them both up. They didn't need to do it, did they? Didn't need to do it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you think it's one of them. You think the other one's he's gonna back out, and at the end of the day, if you're racing for points, none of you are gonna back out. You knew
throughout the whole lap something was going to happen then. So Strauss with a 1.4 second lead to Bowie. Cole Paradox will know here, Chimp. Cole Paradox, 5 lap better tyres and no penalties. He will know he's got a chance at getting Bowie here, Chimp, for that P2, and that could be a massive P2 in the championship as well.
Yeah, solid points for Bowie. I'm not sure how big the gap is at the top. I know it's not a lot, but could be an important 2nd place.
Here comes a big battle again. Speaking a little bit further down, I've mentioned the 2 of them already tonight, Murphy and Mazzles, and there was a lot of respect there shown by Mazzles. There was a potential opportunity for move there from Mazzles into turn 4, but he left it. He backed out, and that's the respect that Murphy and Mazzles have got for each other. Of course, I mentioned it already. Old teammates last season. The respect is still there, and it's another penalty chip for JB Bowie, and that could be so costly for the championship leader.
Yeah, it could be. I think is that 6 on now? Yeah, 6.
Let's check the penalties. Yeah.
Strauss, you're laughing.
Cole Paradox, you're laughing, Kez, I think. He's 3.7 behind him. He's got a massive chance of getting P2 here. Mazzles on 29 lap-old mediums, doing a stellar job here, and still have a chance of getting possibly a podium. Murphy Adams got penalties. There's still a chance here Mazzles could get Bowie. If Bowie was to get another penalty, it could get a little bit nervy for Bowie, and what a podium it'd be for Mazzles, who got a podium last week, I believe, in Mexico. And as an Aston Martin driver myself, I'm loving it. I know the talent that Mazzles has got. I raced with him last season in Tier 4, and he's got the pace, and he's shown again tonight on tyres that I no doubt now will start to feel like Bambi on ice. But doing a very good job on them, and at the moment, bringing home potentially a top 3. Anyone you're watching, Chimp, at the moment?
No, keeping me on Mazzles. I'm not sure he could do with having the stream on, really, to hear us say that JB Bowie has got 6 seconds of pens.
Yeah.
Because if you hold on to that 5th...
he's not too far behind it. It's not too far behind him, is he?
He'll know Murphy in front of him as the 3, so he knows he's in the 4th.
If I was to get one more, let me have a quick look at the... very, very quickly, have a quick look at the warnings towards the more recent warnings, see if any been picked up in the last lap or two. And Chimp, oh no, he's not. Murphy, Chimp's just got another warning on lap 32. And there's the penalty. There it is. Murphy's got 6 seconds now. Mazzles will be laughing, Chimp. He will be laughing.
Mazzles, but you still can't hold off because you could be up there if JB Bowie gets another.
I mean, Mazzles' tyres now will start to die down, but in fairness, Bowie's aren't great either. He's done 22 laps on them. William Gaming, Chimp, he's mentioned him tonight. He's been up in the mix and, of course, had that massive crash that I'm sure we'll see more of in the steward's room with Pheasant Plucker. But he has just got fastest lap, of course. No point for that. He's not in the top 10 as it stands, but he's potentially taking it away from others, Chimp, which, can be handy in the championship, can't it?
Yeah, it can. But
I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that collision, because he was well in the mix, wasn't he? As was Sadistic King, who spam.
Yeah, I mean, Sadistic King will probably jump a few places with penalties here.
Yeah, very good point. Very true. And if we're playing Penny Little Bingo tonight, he's not been as many as we'd have probably expected. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that haven't got penalties, but in fairness, 2 of the 7 are AI drivers, and of course, they're not going to get penalties for corner cutting, are they? So effectively 5 drivers so far that have already pens. There's still time here, 2 laps to go, and Strauss is your man as it stands. He won in Mexico last week, got a big 40 points there to stamp his name in the championship battle, and as it stands, by any mistakes, he's going to breeze the car home with 2 laps to go, get back-to-back wins, and potentially a lot more points as Pheasant Plucker retires the car. No safety car now, I don't think, due to us being on lap 35, but a tough one, Pheasant Plucker, of course. He had a tough quali. Couple of incidents tonight. One big incident, of course, William Gaming, and he becomes the 5th retiree of the night. Shame he couldn't bring it home for a couple of points there with 2 laps to go. I like Pheasant Plucker, though. Superb commentator. He commentated me in Tier 4 last year. A lovely, lovely lad and a fantastic commentator. I'm missing commentator, actually, because he's brilliant, and I've got you for him tonight again, but I have no doubt that we'll be seeing that incident with him and William Gaming a little bit later on. But Strauss knows here, Chimp, a lap and a half to go. Bring the car home, nothing silly. And get back-to-back wins and close the gap even further on the cars above you.
Is that a spin for
William Gaming? Yeah, in the wall, yeah. He's about to get lapped here from Strauss. On board then with the McLaren driver of Strauss, who, like I said, knows now he's got 1 lap to ease the car home, not make any silly mistakes, and get a big win for the 2nd week in a row. A win that will feel potentially like a championship win. Now, obviously, he's not going to win it tonight by any means, but he will close the gap massively on JB Bowie. Of course, Bowie's still 2nd, but I think he'll drop a couple, possibly to Cole Paradox, depending on penalties at the end. But Strauss knows it'll be another big win, 2 in a row, and he will really start now to put pressure on Bowie and Cole Paradox with 4 races to go. The top 3 all delivering again tonight. They're all championship candidates for a reason, and once again, all of them in the hunt. Here's an Atchaman on Murphy, and a good move. Not really mentioned Atchaman much tonight. He's the one that's had a really good race tonight. Got pens though, and Mazzles in 7th, Jim, but possibly could jump 4 places here, Mazzles, 3 or 4 places into 3rd, or no, maybe not 3rd, but 4th for sure.
Yeah, he's done well to stick on them.
On 30 lap on the mediums as well, yeah, definitely. Pretty much the full race on the mediums, that's incredible from Mazzles. Fair play to him. On board then with Strauss, who's going to round the last couple of corners and ease the car home. He won in Mexico City. He's going to win in Austria as well. It's going to be a massive step in the title race. Strauss crosses the line to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Here comes Barry, and he's going to drop to third, I think, behind Cole Paradox, and Ackerman going to be next in P4. Good result for him tonight. Murphy, solid result from him in fifth. JB just behind him in sixth. What happened to Mazzles?
Mazzles, 10-second penalty.
He's got a puncture on the last lap! No!
No.
Oh my word. Oh my word.
Jay Apple's going to do. So's Dragon on Speed.
Wow.
McConey could.
33 laps too many. One too many for Mazzles, who, if the race would have ended 2 corners earlier, he'd have finished 4th. He's now 11th.
McConey could have him. It's going to be closest. I'm not sure if McConey had him there.
Wow. Wow. You got a feel for Mazzles there, haven't you? 1 lap too many on the mediums, Chimp. And he had a P4 in the bag there. And bang. Tyre went. Heartbreak. But congratulations to Strauss, Chimp. You said he'd get best in quality. You called Bally for the win, didn't you, tonight? Bally got third. But the top 3... I think, Chimp, when you've got a title race between 3 drivers and all 3 of them are sharing a podium, you're in for a real interesting battle here with 4 races to go, aren't you?
Yeah, 4 races. They're going to... It's settled brilliantly. I'm sure that's not... it's not the first time we've seen them 3 on the podium together, and I'm sure it possibly won't be the last, even with 4 races to go.
Mm-hmm. There you have it then.
Feel for Mazzles, though.
There you have it. There is your Austrian Grand Prix. Back-to-back wins for the McLaren of Strauss. It's a top 2 for the Dutch boys. Cole Paradox, he'll take second from 7th. Bowie third. Ackerman, Sadistic King, who had a really good race, to be fair, could have got even more. What could have been for Sadistic King tonight? Murphy, solid. Bowie, JB 7th, Doomsray, Jartnell, and Dragon on Speed complete your top 10. There's the rest of the grid for you with 5 DNFs tonight. My driver of the day, personally, is going to go to Strauss, Chimp. I think he was superb. But special mentions to the likes of Murphy, Sadistic King, Man, under the radar a little bit tonight. I would have got Mazzles, Kez, if he didn't do what he did on the last lap.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we would give it Mazzles, but I've been unlucky there. But I'd have to agree with you, Strauss. He was always there or thereabouts with it. Oh.
Completely agree, Chimp. I'd love to do some podium interviews. Unfortunately, I get a glitch at the moment where when I invite people to the party, the stream cuts out. So I'm not be able to do any interviews tonight, unfortunately. But what I will do is I will look into it for next week. But I did a tester earlier, and the stream was cut off, so it's a frustrating one. But I don't want to ruin the stream now with it cutting off. So unfortunately, no interviews tonight. I can only apologise to the top 3, but I will message them all separately and congratulate them on the top 3. I'm sure they'll all understand. Chimp, an absolute pleasure tonight, mate. You're making your co-racing... Hey, Chimp, co-racing league race debut and then co-racing league commentary debut in the same month. Or within a month, should I say. What's next? Championship winner?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
No, congratulations to Strauss, Bowie, and Cole Paradox. Unfortunately, like I said, no interviews. I don't want to risk it, but I will sort it for next week. I promise, and apologies to them 3. I will message you all later on. But thank you so much for everyone in the stream who's shown their support. It was so good to be back on commentary tonight. I really enjoyed it. And Chimp, thank you for joining me, mate. I hope you enjoyed it.
Absolute pleasure.
I'm sure we'll see Chimp here again this season, all being well. If you are done now and you want to watch some more racing, head over to Tier 1. They're live now in Austria. If you're not bored of Austria and you want to see some more racing, go and watch the big boys in Tier 1. Other than that, make sure you tune in on Monday night at 8 o'clock live on this YouTube channel. Watch me and Chimp race. And, that's all you need to know. Just watch me and Chimp race around Singapore. That'll be fun. Make sure you tune in on Monday and watch Scott commentate me and Chimp and the rest of the boys in Tier 4. But until then, take care. Have a very good rest of your week. And it's been an absolute pleasure tonight. Hopefully back next week as well. Next up is the Singapore Grand Prix. I'm sure that'll be an absolute madness. Thank you so much. Congratulations to our top 3. Thank you once more to Chimp. Have a great night. Hedge out.
See you later, folks.